It just skipped directly. Anyway, I wanted to make an epic intro, but it seems like there's not gonna be one. So, hello everyone. Guten Tag, bonjour, dobry den. This is me, Zeno, and I'm back. I am back, and we are so back. We are actually so back. Uh, yeah, a lot has changed since the past. You can see even my amazing background changed. Most of you can probably guess why it did change. And whew, I can't believe I'm actually streaming again. This is the 40th stream of me watching YouTube videos. At least that's how I called it. So I do assume it's my 40th. Wait, let me just turn off one thing here. Yeah, wow. I don't even know where to start. I actually know where I'm gonna start. I'm gonna make an Instagram story. There we are. I'm gonna put an Instagram story. And soon I am going to start talking. Give me a sec. I actually called this stream I'm back because I am genuinely back. I think it's been the longest break between all my streams since I've started doing this. Let me just check one thing. I need to check if it actually works or not. I need to check if it's okay. Called this stream the sound is actually very nice. The sound is amazing. So let me just copy quickly a link here. Boom, boom, boom. God, this feels good. And we have our first viewers today, also coming from Twitch. Yeah, from Twitch as well. I haven't streamed on Twitch in a while. God, this has been a long time. And I don't know if a lot of you were interested. I was actually planning to make a video about it, but I decided, screw it. I'm just going to make it in stream mode. So what happened? Where have I been this whole time? Let me just quickly start sharing the screen. We're going to go through a couple of this, and then we're going to go to the main part of watching YouTube videos. But firstly, I want to answer all the questions that could potentially appear from people who, I don't know, have been enjoying my content and then they have missed me, not seen me in a while. So let me just, yeah, so I'll just want to make sure that I'm showing everything. Let me see how it looks live. Okay. Does it look live? What? Oh my God, it looks so good. It actually looks so good. I know it's seen on display. I also hope that my camera is good because for some reasons I am there streamed very poorly, which I don't like. I want to be in good quality. Hide camera, keep audio, customize. How can I customize my camera? Ooh, I can change shape. Check this out. Oh, this is so good. Yeah, I miss streaming. I honestly miss streaming. Oh no, wait, let me just switch it back. Oh, it's been a while. I missed it so badly. Let me just test if you can hear me good because this is something that for me matters the most. Everything else I don't care. I just need to make sure. Shape. Check this out. Oh, this is so good. Yeah, the sound is even perfect, which is something that I need. So, where have I been all this time? Where have I been all this time? Give me a second. I need to fix this thing first. Boom, boom. Ah, yeah, there we go. Now I know how I fix it. So, this is the channel. These are the streams. We had 264 videos published. That is actually insane because this channel has been live for 2 years. So it's an average of me posting almost once every couple days. And yeah, I don't know why it's recommending something or anything. This is just playlist. Here I had videos. So my last video is dated 4 months ago. This was actually when I've announced the year of push-ups. I remember this clearly. I had a 30-day challenge of push-ups, 30 push-ups in 30 days. and I decided that this is going to be the year I'm going to be doing push-ups. I decided to do 40, then 50, and so on. And that's approximately when the last live stream was. So it was around the beginning of February. Now it's middle of June, so 4 months. And here's how it's called. It was basically me reacting to YouTube videos, but it was also a Super Bowl announcement. I was supposed to stream the Super Bowl. I was supposed to be watching with you, just like we did this a couple years ago. Not a couple years, 2 years ago. But then at the day of the Super Bowl, I was watching it, but not with you. I was watching it in the hospital. I was watching it in the hospital because I tore my ACL. I tore my ACL and I needed to go to the hospital. I don't know if I'm going to put some pictures of it somewhere, maybe soon, but I actually have a picture of me sitting in the hospital waiting for x rays and me with the Super Bowl, me watching the Super Bowl on my phone. Now, I didn't know by then that I tore my ACL. I just knew that I had an injury. I actually found out about it like 10 days later when I did an MRI. And yeah, I had to go through surgery. And that is actually, this is, if some of you have been noticing, this is actually why in our shorts, uh, after 40 push ups, it stops after day 9. It just stops without any explanation whatsoever. It just stops because, yes, guys, this was the day when I tore my ACL. February 9th, basketball game. And of course, no more push ups were there. But then step by step we were recovering and I started catching up. I started a new challenge which started just from 10 and now I think we are at 15. Today was actually day 6 and oh my god. What was this? What was these covers? I didn't spot them before. I should add the cover on my or give me like a second. I'll add in my cover real quick. This is something I should always pay attention to when I'm posting these shorts that I should be watching them out. Um oh my god. That's why they didn't get so many views, I guess. Because the cover is important and it's something that you should pay less attention on TikTok or WhatsApp, but it's something that you should pay more attention when you're on YouTube. Yeah, I just lost like 1,000 views today because of it. That actually sucks. Wait, I will also fix this day because why should it look so bad? But yeah, all in all, I brought the push-ups back and now I'm bringing back the streams. Now, before I get into something, I am not going to promise you that, yeah, now I'm back. Now we're streaming daily, watching videos. All in all, I don't want to promise things I can't keep. But what I do promise is to try. What I do promise is to try. So now I have a plan to make 2 streams per week, like we did before, which are going to be distributed Tuesdays and Thursdays, with Tuesdays being like different videos, different topics, and Thursday ones are going to be more focused on the characters. So some of the characters that we will pick all together, maybe we will want to watch something together on YouTube. Anyhow, maybe I'll actually change some of the ways I stream. I had ideas to start streaming my gym sessions, start streaming me playing basketball. That's actually a freaking cool idea. That's actually a genius idea. I should write this down so that I don't forget. But I need to purchase a tripod for it first. Stream how I play ball. This actually is something I should do. My tripod here is standing and it's cracking right now, but I think I'm gonna purchase a new tripod. Anyway, It's been already 10 minutes, so we've been through some period of the stream. And before I continue doing something, I just want to thank you once again for all of you watching, whenever you're watching, however you're watching. I don't really care that much whenever you watch, as long as you watch. And I want to thank you all for the support. I appreciate every single time you take actions, when you write comments, when you, I don't know, click something, all the cool stuff. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys. And with that being said, I will check the quality of my stream, because for some reason I can see that the stream quality is kind of slow. Give me a second. I'll try to fix this. Can I fix the quality today? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, actually. Yeah, anyway, I can't really fix it right now today. I just hope that I'm going to be I'll figure this out by next streams. Why is it 720 pixels? I have no clue. But I'll try to embrace it and make it better. Anyway, now that I got this part covered, I am now going into what I usually do. And who is the creator? Who is the creator who I always start when I announce these big comebacks? If you've been watching this channel for a while now, you may already guessed. Welcome back, my boy Jen. And he looks awful. I'm not gonna lie, he looks awful in this video. This is not gonna be a very good cover, but yeah, all in all, I missed watching these streams. I missed the comments. I missed the views. I missed the interactions I had in the comment sections. I remember those days. So excited to get back into them. Now, before I start, I need to check if the audio here is running. If the audio on the screen is running okay. Give me a second. Boom, and then.
If I may ask, how much have they
Actions I had in the comment sections. I remember. Well, I just need to check one thing. Yeah, the audio is running perfectly, which means I can start recording. I can start our favorite thing that I used to do on this channel, which is the intro for the YouTube videos, for those of you watching on YouTube. So, how corporations broke fat acceptance. A new video by my boy Jan. We are streaming, we are back, and we're actually reacting to it. I've decided to that for the comeback, I'm gonna pick not too of a controversial topic, more of like an investigational video that we're going to react to. And who is better to do it than a creator who literally builds his content on investigations? I don't think there's more to say to it. I'm just going to pop right directly into the video.
they offered you?
We're talking probably.
If I may ask, how much have they offered you?
We're talking probably over $10,000 per post for.
Well, I actually know this creator. I've seen her somewhere.
Pushing his epic.
For like a single Instagram post.
For a single Instagram post.
Believe it or not, this person is worth more than you or I combined. But
yes,
how?
I actually literally watched the video yesterday of her complaining about the size of planes.
More people will die from the effects of obesity than from starvation.
$500 billion in additional healthcare costs. $500 billion.
Plus size clothes, supplements, and weight loss drugs are already hitting all-time sales today. And the fat industry is estimated to be worth $3 billion by 2030, and fat acceptance is becoming normalized. And
I'm just going to make a quick comment before people call me biased or anything. One of my biggest, I at least feel like it, fears is to get fat. Like seriously, that's I think why I put so much idea into my abs muscles than my hand muscles. Even my challenge last year, like with 100, I think it was called 100 sit-ups. No, how was it called? 100 crutches for 100 days. That was also one of the motivators because I, for some reason, just cannot like I can't. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, not to judge anyone, but this is just like something personal. So don't call me biased. I'm actually going to be trying to be rational on this one, as I always am.
And it's all by design. What's next?
The next step is turn people into helpless beings and that they must medicate for it. It's going to be drugged out.
So I talked to a fitness expert and a fat activist and went down a rabbit hole to find out who exactly is profiting from making America fat.
That's why I like Jen. His like content is usually investigation. We get to learn new stuff instead of just like judging one side or another.
Du interessierst dich für das Thema.
Oh, and then the other part of my streams is when we watched ads. It's when I had to skip ads. Another thing that I missed.
Have like a medical condition that makes it. I'm curious, do you have like a medical condition that makes it impossible for you to lose weight?
I have several medical conditions. I wouldn't say it makes it impossible to lose weight. And then I'm on medications for different conditions that I have.
If you don't mind me asking, how much do you weigh?
Yeah, that's one that I'm like, I don't usually tell people, but it's well over 500 pounds. And so I don't give a specific number, but yeah.
Got it. So I saw on your website that you created a petition called the Fat Equality Bill.
I actually checked. I think she was one of the organizers of FatCon, or she was like at least pushing this idea. Like she was definitely involved in it. If you don't know what FatCon is, just check it by yourself. I'm not even going to attach any links.
Bill of Rights petition.
Yeah.
How are fat people discriminated against?
Fat people are discriminated against every day, and it's been ingrained in us to treat fat people poorly, to be honest. A lot of fat people face medical discrimination. Oftentimes we're told about our weight, whether it's related or not. In travel, we are forced to pay for 2 seats if we take up more space than the average person, even though we're going to the same place. Social media platforms censor our bodies, fat bodies.
So what exactly are you trying to accomplish with
That
this?
is actually interesting. I've never heard of social media, so to say, how do I push this? How did she say censoring fat people? Like this is actually something that I never knew before.
Fat Equality Bill of Rights.
Yeah, I think it comes down to I want fat people to be equal. I don't want there to be a fat tax where we're paying more to access similar services. I want us to be able to show up and access the same things as anybody else without needing accommodations.
So it seems like it's kind of like you're advocating for fat people to be like a protected class, like race, gender, religion. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, fat rights are civil rights.
But just so I understand though, right? Like, for example, my race, I'm Asian and I'm an Asian male. Like, that's not something I had any sort of like choice in. Are you saying that fatness is on the same level as race and gender when it comes to choice?
Yes, you were born Asian, and yes, I was born African American. I was also born fat, and as much as I've, tried to do things many times.
Yes, what do you mean born fat? Like I know some kids get big. I know some kids are born bigger. I recently a very close relative of mine gave birth, and there was a list of these babies, and I could see like, yeah, sure, some babies were bigger than the others, but I don't think that you are born fat. You're probably born big or small, but it's really about getting. And I'm not necessarily blaming the fat people. A lot of times it's from what your parents feed you, from how you're raised, from what they allowed you to do. I mean, some parents just like don't care about their kids doing physical activities, which is simply wrong, I assume.
In my life to change being fat, it just hasn't worked for me. And so for some people, it's absolutely not a choice, and I stand by that.
I see. If I may challenge you though, isn't fatness something that you can control?
Being fat isn't a choice, and fatness has a spectrum, right? So, you have genetics, you have medications, you have environmental influences. There's so many things.
So she argues that for some, fatness isn't a choice, but if that's true, then why is almost half the country obese? The rates don't increase in just such a short time due to genetics and disorders, so clearly something changed. I think
Parents stopped giving a thing about their children more and more. I'm telling you, it's about how you raise a person. All the things that we see in their 20s, what came from their teenagers. But let's listen to his big three.
It's pretty obvious that our food is compromised. And it all happened fairly recently. Have you noticed how anytime you see like a movie or TV show in the 50s or 60s, they're literally chain smoking cigs after every breath? And then all of a sudden it just magically stopped, because around the 80s or so is when the Surgeon General's report made a shocking revelation that smoking is horrible for you. And then now these big cigarette companies now had to diversify. And by the 90s or so, the two largest companies that has mastered the art of addiction started buying food companies. And soon enough, their scientists started doing what they do best, making their products addictive, creating the ultra processed food that we see today that has profited from the processing, such as high fructose corn syrup that literally make you more hungry the more you eat it, rather than making you feel more full. But then how the hell did food governments and scientists let all this happen, knowing that all this shit is so unhealthy? Well, simply put, big food lobby. They lobbied hard.
They took over the institutions of trust to say ultra-processed food was healthy, and then they took their scientists and rigged the food itself to make it more addictive. So you had the literal food pyramid, which said ultra-processed food is great, low fat, carbs, base of the pyramid. That was constructed literally by the cigarette industry to promote their addictive products.
So when big food manipulated health standards,
it's like drinking Sprite never actually makes you feel like you've drank enough. I'm always thirsty if I drink Sprite. It's like the biggest scam ever if you want to fill your thirst.
they weren't just changing what healthy means, they were creating loyal customers who keep buying the very products that were making them fatter. But look, big food is just one piece in this trillion-dollar industry. If being fat costs the average American thousands more per year, who's actually profiting from keeping you fat? So let's move on a little bit towards your corporate partnerships, because I saw on your website that you partnered with over 300 brands. Yep. Names like Google, Dove, and McDonald's.
McDonald's is here. I mean, yes, you're pushing for like fat. The thing is, maybe that's my misinterpretation, but if you're maybe like if I was pushing for a fat acceptance and saying that, like, if you're saying that you're fat by not by choice, but by birth, let's say, wouldn't you still try to keep a healthy life? Like, again, you're like, show fat people who actually are fat because of like genetics and stuff, but they are still trying to keep healthy. Like, you know, those are actually fat activists. If you're showing a fat person who's like saying, accept me as fat, I'm gonna eat McDonald's, well, then it's actually fat by choice, sweetheart. Then it's actually fat by choice.
Do you think corporations actually genuinely support your activism, or using you and your followers as an opportunity for financial gain?
I think that that's a great question. I think performative inclusivity is something we need to talk more about. So for instance, I've worked with McDonald's, like you said. Have we ever had a conversation about making their restaurants more accessible or having more representation in their marketing? No, I definitely haven't spoken to them about that. But then there are companies like Big Fig Mattress who specifically target plus size community, and you can see it through and through that they're—
Of course, because McDonald's doesn't need— McDonald's ratings are not going to grow just because you say eat McDonald's. Like, you know, you're not gonna bring more customers. Like, you have to understand, big corporations, the way they market is, the bigger they are and the less they start caring about their marketing actually bringing clients, when it's a lot of like about the image. So McDonald's could actually be the one who says, look, we partner both with healthy athletes and also with fat activists and also with those and that. Like, it's a part of the corporation thing. The big mattresses that she mentioned before, they are literally targeting these people. So their marketing needs to be specific. Their marketing needs to actually like target to bring sales, and they will bring sales by selling their mattresses to her audience. That's why she says what she says right here.
representation in their marketing? No, I definitely haven't spoken to them about that. But then there are companies like Big Fig Mattress who specifically target plus size community, and you can see it through and through that they're supporting the community in every aspect. In the marketing, fat people are represented. They pay their creators that are fat well.
How do you advocate?
Because those are literally their clients. That's their target market. Of course, they need to sustain it better.
For fat liberation, though, when like companies like McDonald's, let's be honest, if we had to kind of create like the average customer profile, they're probably going to be more obese people.
Yeah, for sure. McDonald's definitely is going to serve more fat people than, say Apple or something like that. And I use a lot of these partnerships where I see changes that need to be made to kind of work my way into being an accessibility consultant.
Do you think corporations have also created this fat acceptance movement to monetize a big base of the American population as new customers?
Honestly, the case might be there. There might be a point made. We have a demographic we need to meet, but I also do think that people see it, the body positive label, the fat acceptance label, the things like that, they see it as a marketing tactic as well. Fat liberation has been around for a really long time, but you're definitely seeing that. They see it as a marketing tactic as well. Fat liberation has been
Fat liberate. What are we liberating fat people from? Like, don't get me wrong. I don't find this attractive at all. But I'm not going to judge it based on the looks. I'm actually going to judge it on the context. What are we liberating them from? I like that they still put this baby who is it supposed to be a fat baby? I don't know.
Around for a really long time, but you're definitely seeing companies come into this. We're supporting and we're here to be inclusive. And it's definitely a trend to some.
Because I agree with her. It's so much better when a company is actually honest to their values instead of just pandering to whatever trend. Like, I just feel like you can trust that way more. That's exactly why.
Did you notice, by the way, while I skip these ads from Jen, did you notice that
Data is all.
Wait, let me actually skip the ad in here of itself, and then I'll continue with what I. Did you notice that since Trump became president, it's Pride Month now, but did you notice that less and less companies have been switching their profile pictures into LGBTQ flags? Like, just like look at all of these different companies that even a year ago were making this like, like it was supposed to be there. June came, boom, we're changing it. Now it's way less. Just take a look at it.
Feel way better than eating McDonald's. But this also shows exactly why McDonald's are sponsoring fat activists. Because unfortunately, they do know who their audience is. And that makes sense because
I actually don't remember, but Nico, I think this guy on the right, he actually...
Fat activists. Because unfortunately, they do know who their audience is. And that makes sense because brands are going to want to find audiences in which they can sell to, but the problem is that it's also infiltrated others. Washington Post found that dietitians using hashtag no bad foods, hashtag food freedom, and hashtag ditch the diet are encouraging their followers to eat whatever them makes happy. These are dietitians that were backed by companies like General Mills, the people behind your favorite bullshit cereal. So I think you can now start seeing the bigger picture and how money behind these movements can start using messengers from fat activists to dietitians to slowly start chipping away at the public's perception. In this case, what's healthy. So what happens when a company gains absolutely nothing from fat activism and in fact can be hurt from it, but feel the pressure to conform? You said like one of your biggest initiatives is making it easier for fat people to travel. What is the customer of size policy and why are you demanding that airlines implement it?
Customer of size policy, essentially, it doesn't say one way or the other what is required. It's just more of a policy for this is how our airline accommodates people of size. The customer of size policy, though, specifically that I've modeled my petition to the FAA after is the Southwest Airlines customer of size policy. And with that policy, anybody who encroaches on the second seat can be given a free seat in order to make sure they're accommodated and they're comfortable on their flight. For me specifically, though, I take it a step further, and I think that all airlines should model their customer size policy after Southwest and provide that second additional seat, and even a third if you're encroaching upon that much space. It's considerate for your body, but also anyone else flying next to you.
Because
You know what's the problem with, like, her comment isn't that bad and it isn't that stupid, and I actually like people who are taking actions even if I don't agree with them. But the problem is companies work based on client interest. So in order for her petition or her ideas to work, a company should look, how are they going to get more profit? By making their seats bigger so that more fat people can fly, or by not increasing them, and sure, maybe cut a smaller part of a smaller part of fat people, but save much more money than they would have lost if they, for example, made the seats bigger, got less people, because bigger seats means less space, means less people. So what she's trying to say is she's trying to convince a company to basically be a good angel, and these things can work if you're talking to a government whose ideas might be more delegated towards the people and towards the human interest. But companies don't think like this. Companies look at everything at pure profit. Will listening to your petition bring them more profit? I assume no. That's why, sorry, but your petition is a bit bullshit. It's just not gonna work. I'm sorry, like, but keep thinking, keep trying. Maybe one day you'll succeed.
We're gonna be real, this whole thing that she's talking about only really stands if fatness is truly like a disability that you're born with and you can't change. Because I
think he was chill at the interview, but now he's just pissed. Like, he didn't agree with her at all.
Anyone here can deny that we should absolutely accommodate people who are disabled, but if it's something that you can change, come on, that's ridiculous.
So
really
pissed.
The question becomes
I am
personal.
much more chill. And I consider myself a very aggressive person. He's supposed to be the more rational one. He's investigating. I'm just reacting. Jen, take a breath. Take a breath.
Responsibility, and I wanted to find answers. And so I wanted to talk to this expert, and especially this one, because of this reel.
No, people who are overweight but active were more healthy than those who were overweight but inactive.
Because in order to understand how the last player is able to profit so much, we have to separate truth from opinion. Understand how a movement can go from acceptance to ridiculousness.
So in my entire life was spent in athletics. I used to eat whatever I wanted, looked relatively good while doing it. And then when that stuff stopped and I didn't change my dietary habits, I noticed that I wasn't really liking what I saw in the mirror. I was starting to go a certain direction. And then finally I was like, okay, I got to figure this stuff out. I figured out that through manipulating certain variables, it was just a mathematics game. It became very, very frustrating to me to see other people who wouldn't recognize that it was and would say a lot of things contrary to that, like, oh, it doesn't have to do with calories, it just has to do with my hormones. And that kind of catapulted me into a career of debunking various fitness and nutrition myths. And that's why I have an issue with the whole idea of acceptance. We don't accept alcoholism. We don't accept drug addiction. And a movement that bases its entire name around...
Imagine if there's gonna come a day when we're gonna accept all of these things. The world is just gonna be cooked, and I'm gonna be there to watch it. I'm so bad.
The title acceptance does not make sense to me when it comes to something that is that detrimental to your health.
It's a great point. Because when fatness is now affecting 40% of the population and costs people $1.7 trillion per year, why the hell was this epidemic not being taken seriously? Of course, there's a lot at stake to not fix it. Because when you have a golden ticket that convinced people that you can solve their problem with no extra work, you spend all the ad dollars in the world to keep it that way. And the most ironic part about this final player is that even though it's benefiting the most from the fat acceptance movement, it might also be the very thing that ends it.
Oh no, I thought that I read some Polish words here, my bad.
Might also be the very thing that ends it.
Ozempic and the body condition of most of the people at the Golden Globes shows that the fat acceptance movement was all a scam. The moment that you had an easy route out of being overweight, body positivity went out of the window. That's so true.
Because yeah, What the hell happened to all the acceptance? I mean, just look at the sales over the last few years and what it's projected to be. And now look at their stock that has exploded to become one of Europe's most valuable companies. And now we have
it's a Danish company, right? Give me a sec. Is it? No. What company is it? Wait, which company is this? Novo Nordisk. Yeah, it's supposed to be some kind of Scandinavian company. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's a Danish company. I checked it out. It's a Danish company. I knew it has to do things with Europe. I just knew. Americans couldn't come up with this. This is all the work of Europe. Like, of course, Europeans just scammed the Americans, took their money, made them fat, and are just chilling and watching their world burn. I'm telling you, same thing. I'm so waiting for the alcoholics movement. I am so gonna be there. I'm so gonna be reacting to videos once that starts. Or maybe filming my own. I don't know yet, but it's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I promise you.
Bearable celebrities like James Corden's to those that yap about acceptance like, oh,
James Corden is also British. He doesn't give a fuck about Britain. Oh, I'm sorry, about the US. Like, Europeans are just scamming USA. Oh my god, this is so hilarious to watch. This is where... Okay, we're not gonna get too political here.
Oprah, who literally used to back Weight Watchers that actually promotes like real diet and exercise, to now all of them using Ozempic. And it's also not just the fatter celebrities that are using it, it's becoming an epidemic, and it's only just the beginning.
How common are you seeing Ozempic, whether it be amongst your clients or people you know?
It's incredibly common. I'll deal with people every day who are like, oh yeah, my aunt is on this, my cousin's on this.
What's
like you saw when I saw Ozempic, I thought it was something Polish, so you can assume how much I've heard from people around Europe about it.
next?
The next step is to turn people into helpless beings or make them believe that they are completely helpless and that they must medicate for it. And so that is going to become the logical conclusion rather than a last step. It's starting to become more popular too in the bodybuilding community because one of the main mechanisms of action for GLP-1s is that it does reduce your appetite. So you'll get people who are trying to cut down to body fat levels that aren't sustainable, and the leaner you get as a bodybuilder, the hungrier you get.
So it's reached everyone, but especially middle-aged older women, and it's no coincidence that that's also the group that's most represented by the fat acceptance movement, because come on, there's no fat acceptance for guys.
Like, true, it's like, fuck her, go lose some weight. There's no this, let's go, girl, you're such a queen and all of that. No, fuck you. Like, in my friend group, we have actually one of our friends, I visited him both times for New Year's, and he did lose his weight compared to last year. He's still the fat guy because he has to lose more. At least until we see a six-pack, he's gonna be the fat guy amongst us. So, like, Jen is right. There's no fat acceptance amongst guys.
Because what if I told you that Novo Nordisk, the company behind Ozempic, donated $500,000 to an advocacy group called the Obesity Action Coalition and hundreds of thousands to other similar...
You know what? When I see, like, adults being obese, I'm like, not caring, not that much caring. You know, they're older, they made their choice, whatever. But when I see kids, like, over here, I'm just thinking, these are just some poor parents. And I actually feel sorry for the kids. I actually feel very sorry for them.
Various advocacy groups. But now they're trying to change policy, and they're targeting specific groups in order to achieve that. Like giving thousands of dollars to Black organizations, such as sponsoring a panel at the Congressional Black Caucus Conference. We'll get to that in a sec, but is it also why they decide to target Black creators like Jalen?
Have you been approached by Ozempic to sell to your audience?
This is your brain.
God, I'm honestly, I'm purchasing premium. I'm thinking about it, but now I see it's actually something I need. Also, my stream is lagging a bit. Is it lagging? Okay, it's lagging, but you can at least hear the sound, which I think I'm gonna try to fix over the next stream. Well, let me check my internet provider. Yeah, now it's not on full 100%. I have no clue. What's the stream quality, by the way? Can I see it here? I remember in the past I could have seen the stream quality. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't see it now. Whatever. I'll just fix it. I'll just fix it the next time.
Just like Jalen.
Have you been approached by Ozempic to...
Oh, wait, give me a sec. I didn't start. Did I start? Yeah, I started. Sorry.
To target Black creators like Jalen.
Have you been approached by Ozempic to sell to your audience?
Yeah, I've been, I don't think I can say Ozempic specifically, but I've been approached by these like agencies that are working with, and I probably get an email a month asking me if I'm interested in pushing the GLP-1s. And I've actually spoken out against Ozempic and worked with a company to help people sue Ozempic for the medical and health conditions that they were causing and that their product was causing harm.
It's not that bad.
If I may ask, how much have they offered you?
We're talking probably over $10,000 per post for pushing Ozempic.
For like a single Instagram post?
For a single Instagram post.
What other kind of products have they reached out to you about? Like weight loss pills?
Yep.
Like,
I've had someone offer.
See, I think Ozempic is more in the same category as McDonald's. Like, they already have a big client base. They're not gonna use her as sort of say of accounting sales, but they're gonna use her more like a face. Like, check this out. Even Jaylene, the fat acceptance activist, one of the biggest ones in the market, and even she is recommending us. Like, I think it's more of that side of marketing.
To give me bariatric surgery. If I flew to their country, they would completely cover the cost and my expenses to stay in their resort thing while I get weight loss surgery. And that was for a company based out of Turkey. And I've had them reach out probably.
Okay, I'm not gonna make these jokes because I don't want to get banned on my first stream back.
Only 5 times over the 6 years I've been doing this.
Look, I disagree with you. I believe a lot in health, fitness, and keeping what I consider a healthy weight. But the fact that you're standing on your values and frankly standing on business, I commend that a lot. Do you feel like a lot of other fat activists are now starting to sell out?
So I think
he's just pissed. He's still pissed.
The ability to sell out is there. If you want it, you can start working with the GLP-1s. You can start licensing your content to weight loss programs that are trying to build AI, to, you know, things like that, right? There's so many ways you can sell out.
It seems like there's a lot of lucrative opportunities to be a fat activist. Man, maybe I take my statements back. Maybe I need a course change on my content.
No,
I'm kidding.
Jen, I've been watching you for too long.
You're welcome over here, man. We'll accept you.
So look, I'm gonna give credit when credit is due, and I commend her a lot for that. Because at that Congressional Black Caucus Foundation conference that I showed earlier, the reason Novo sponsored a panel discussion is all part of their big push to open up Medicare coverage to include weight loss drugs like Ozempic. Because as you can imagine, that will substantially increase their profits. And what they did is that they strategically picked panelists that would tout their message, like Dr. Fatima Cody Stanford, a Harvard Medical School professor that specializes in obesity. And surprise, surprise, she's received consulting fees from Novo. So there's no wonder why she would go on and make a statement at that conference saying things like, we've denied care for obesity when we haven't for other chronic diseases, instead of recommending the only sustained way of losing weight, diet and exercise. So again, the funniest thing about all this is that Ozempic is literally destroying the fat acceptance movement by targeting and monetizing the very population that was a part of it. So of course, Big Pharma is benefiting heavily from the fat movement by keeping people on a subscription. But what I found is that they aren't the ones that are profiting most. So the fourth and final player is the industry of insecurity. Because what I actually found out most through this investigation is that the more acceptance that you spread, the more your insecurity grows, because the more you start becoming aware of the exact thing that you're insecure about.
Do you think in many ways both fitness and the fat acceptance movement is just profiting off of insecure people?
Yes, 100%. The vast majority of the reason that people build muscle is for vanity reasons. They might not necessarily be happy with their physique. They might be dealing with some severe body dysmorphia. If at any point you think that getting to said physique is going to make you a happy person, it's just not true.
But with that said, acting on your insecurities doesn't necessarily make it bad. Do it right, and it can actually be the motivation for you to finally change. Because let me tell you, the worst position to be is in indifference. So at the end of the day, we're all gonna be influenced and monetized by something. Like if you're watching me still, YouTube and I are monetizing your attention.
Yeah.
And so the question becomes, what will you choose? Because how you use and view your insecurity is the difference between signing up for the gym, signing up for Ozempic, or deciding to say, f it all and staying fat.
Let me ask you, do you think normalizing fatness downplays the undeniable serious health risks that are associated with being at a fatter weight?
I absolutely do not. This is the fact. Fat people exist now. Fat people have always existed and they always will.
But I agree, like fat people have always...
And now they're living their worst times ever. Like, that's why we need fat liberation.
Existed throughout history, but we are seeing undeniably unprecedented levels of obesity, especially in this country, though. So I don't think we can also downplay that.
But to be fair, now they are living one of their worst times. Like, if you were fat in the 60s, you had the higher chance to survive than fat in 2020s. But keep in mind, that was a different kind of fat.
Health looks different to all, and you are right. There are many diseases that are, made worse by your weight. So I understand that, and I respect that perspective. I just also think that there's an argument to be made that you can be healthy at any size.
So look, clearly we may never agree, but just as fat activists shouldn't force society to conform to their beliefs, I'm also never going to force people to conform to whatever I believe. But with that said, with freedom comes responsibility and accountability over our choices. And until you can understand power and how it influences movement, you will be powerless to the movements designed to influence you. And so to help you with that, sign up to a free weekly newsletter where we uncover...
Yeah, this is like an advertisement. This is like an advertisement.
You can learn to use it the right way. And click here to watch the next video somewhere.
So yeah, this is basically just advertisement already, but wow, what a video. Of course it's gonna get a like from me, and wow, yeah, I forgot how much I missed all of this. But moral of the story, moral of the story. Moral of the story is, with great power comes great responsibility. So with your choices comes responsibility and comes accountability. He said it well. He said it well. I'm not even going to judge. I'm not even going to change anything. So guys, this was me, Zeno, today talking about fat acceptance. For those of you watching on it live on Twitch or YouTube, you can stay because we're going to watch another video. But for those of you watching on YouTube on replay, I thank you all for being back with me. We're not stopping. We're just getting started. So yeah, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Comment below everything what you think, as I answer literally every single comment. There's not too many of them, so I can still answer them. And yeah, I will see you in some other video. Whoa! Wow. I haven't felt so energized in a while, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Give me a second. I need to go fill my water, and then I can come back and watch the second video, because I do have a second video prepared for you. Give me a second. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Wait, I have some messages. Yeah, I'll be right back. Oh, I feel so energized, guys. Oh, so I'm so ready and hyped up to get into the next video, which is going to be on a different topic. I'm not going to lie, today I picked the two probably most controversial yet interesting topic, yet those that I'm not going to get in trouble for. We talked about fat acceptance. Now we are going to talk about, I think I actually watched this. No, I didn't. Today, we're going to talk about dating. Now, I, of course, need to make a YouTube intro. And after that, I can definitely start the whole recording. So, why modern dating is broken. Public interviews with Gen Z, a video by a creator who I have never watched before. I genuinely don't know who this guy is, never watched his content, don't know his views, but the topic of dating has been an interesting one on my channel. I think even at some of the last streams we did discuss it. Like with child-free people, it's the same. With, I think, with men and women, you can see over here I had a lot of videos about dating. So interesting, new creator. Let's explore and let's figure out, because a lot of people might agree that modern dating is broken. But why is that happening? Let's find out.
All of them.
The way I dress is very not modest, but it's my own venue. And I've got nice tits,
So I don't even think toxic masculinity is a thing. It sounds like a garbage term made up by Marxists.
There's like a trend, like if you go to the gym, you have to be like depressed and all.
Can you give me some motivation, please?
We can do it.
Okay, that's enough. The year is 2024 and it is becoming harder and
2025 now. This video was probably like, when was this video actually uploaded? 7 months. Yeah, so it's like end of 2024. We can say it's 2025. The things are either worse or haven't changed.
harder to escape politics. Wherever you go, on social media or in person to university campuses, the political is the personal now. It's all people talk about. I'm here outside Downing Street, but in this video, we're not talking about something that can be solved by politics, and that is the modern dating culture crisis amongst Gen Z. So, let's head away from the centre of politics and go into central London to talk to some of the Gen Zers, like myself, about what they think to dating culture.
Setup. Britain looks more clean in this video than we talk about.
So we're here with
Christy, Elsie.
And I wanted to ask you today.
I like that the last video we had about fat acceptance, and then we're 1 minute into the new one, and I still see freaking McDonald's.
About being Gen Z and what you think of modern dating culture. Do you think it's in a good place?
No.
Why not?
Why not?
Because men kind of suck.
Why do men suck?
Of course! Like, listen, I'm not sexist, but come on. This is a sexist video. What the hell do you mean men suck?
Because they're quite rude. They're not really nice anymore.
All of them?
No. There's some out there.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
What about you? Any thoughts?
I think the fact that a lot of it's over social media is not good. I think that, I don't know, I just think it's sad when you say you've met someone over like talking.
Here's the tricky part. I think that some girls did actually accept this in men. You know, when you're saying that men are rude, men are, I don't know, cursing a lot, compare the amount of men who did this in like 1960s and compared to them now. Like, I have a tick. I can't I don't curse in front of women. I genuinely find it disrespectful and I just don't do it. But how many Gen Zs literally care about it? And how many Gen Z girls literally care about it? I have heard more women curse in front of me sometimes. then I have cursed in front of them. So really, is it more because you've also started accepting some things?
Over Snapchat instead of like meeting them in person.
Do you think that dating apps are a good way of actually finding a long-term partner?
I mean, I know quite a lot of my friends that have met their boyfriends through a dating app. I don't know. I mean, I guess it can work out, but I also feel like it's nicer to meet the person in person.
I guess it's hard because dating apps, you only see photos and a few cheesy prompts.
Yeah.
What percentage of men in 2018 do you think said that they hadn't had any sexual activity in the last year?
Maybe like
Over 40%, 41%.
30%.
It's like I remember there was a show in my home country where they also asked these questions in percentages, and you had to like guess the answer. And if you got something in the 20% gap, so like less by 10 or a bit or under 10 plus, you got the correct answer. So I'm giving 41.
Okay, what about you?
Like 40, maybe?
Okay, it was 34%, a third of.
I think you won like $25 or something for this answer, or was it like? Well, it was like $40 in that during those times, like $40.
People, and that was 6 years ago. So I can imagine after the lockdown, yeah, it's a lot less.
Do you know what that is now?
It's probably like 50%. It's a coin toss. It's heads or tails whether men are getting any.
I would still get the correct
tails.
Plus 50.
I'm going to get in the middle of you two. I'm going to split up the couple. So I'm here with
Max.
Emily.
I want to ask you, how did you two meet?
At a run club.
At a run club?
Yeah.
I slid into her DMs. I said, you and me need to run at this run club. Rest was history. No word of a lie.
Yeah,
no word of a lie.
And how did you find her on DMs?
She's got a small following. She had a bit of a following. I followed her for a while, and yeah, I just thought, why not?
And you were a fan?
Nah, not a fan.
Yeah, he definitely was.
I've heard so much about these run clubs. I need to try them out because I feel like dating apps don't work. Do you agree with that?
Oh,
yeah, 100%.
It's like in-person Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Run clubs
like,
Wow.
it's like
Tinder.
everyone, yeah, 100%.
Forget run club. It's Riz club. It's game club. You drop games. All it is. It's literally all it is.
How do you do it while you're running?
You do it before or after, because when you're running.
Like, do you go for a coffee?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
like go for Nando's or something?
Oh, is this a
Exactly
run
what I
club?
did.
Do you feel like people are sort of ditching dating apps for run clubs because it hasn't worked out for them?
Yeah, I'd say in London, yeah, definitely, because I feel like, especially when you get to your sort of early 20s, you kind of want to stray away from the dancing, drinking, smoking culture.
Right.
And I feel like run clubs, as soon as you're
Run
22,
club.
you're at a run club. So yeah, it's definitely.
They're both
What
running.
made you want to stray away from that culture? Why don't you? How old are you?
22.
22. Yeah. So why don't you go out
Looks
and
like
go
18,
clubbing
not
and drinking
gonna
every
lie.
night?
I think there's nothing wrong with it. It's just when you want to
I
kind
look
of
older than him, and I'm younger.
get to that next level, I think that's just a part of your life you've got to suppress. I'd say so.
And would you go for a guy if he was really attractive and nice, but if he did go out clubbing every day and smoking, whatever
Oh
else?
no, 100% not.
Why
Like,
not?
Most unattractive thing is vaping. Like I like anything like vaping, drinking, smoking.
keep
Oh,
this
not a
girl.
bit of me.
Keep
And I don't
this
do it
girl.
myself, so like we can't relate. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard to find the balance. Some people can do it. I just like I'd say I'm quite extreme when it comes to fitness, so I don't have time.
And what would you go for if you could list like 3 attributes to a guy?
Went for this guy. This guy's like, wait. I'm like, what? I'm already with. I like that the camera also zoomed in on him because this is gold. This is just gold. Like, look at his reaction.
Physical personality.
Both.
Oh, physical. Tall, mullet, fun.
Okay.
That's what I describe you.
And what about,
That's so nice.
what about you? Cut the flirting and try and
yeah,
impress
yeah.
each other. 3 most important things.
Yeah, I just think funny, laid back, and just they have to be physically active, 100%.
Okay.
Definitely, that's a big thing for me.
What do you see as the future for dating our age? Because, you know, there's been loads of stats. 54% of Gen Z guys, once they turn 20, say they had any relationship in their teens,
really?
even just one. So if you're at a pub with your mates, a group of boys,
Yeah.
and you ask them about their relationships in their teens,
Wow.
only half of them would be able to
That's
even tell you
crazy.
about anything. Why do you think that's happening?
I'm actually curious. My group is even small.
It's a good question. I think it could be twofold. So one, they're either really just not interested, they're trying to like make themselves who they are at an early age, or they're just not sounds mean, but they just don't. They're not at that age where they want to care about it, so it's just not something that they've tried to practice.
Ask this question in terms of girls. Like, how many girls have had a relationship in their teens? That's a more interesting question, trust me, because it reveals a whole bigger concept. But I think I'm going to talk about this later, so I'll skip it for now.
Practice dating and things like that, I'd say.
Yeah. Do you think social media has a part to play in this?
What, in like men not being able to date?
Yeah.
Sort of. I feel like it's really like glorified to be like that hardcore, heartbroken gym bro that like can't speak to women and like is like emo.
Do you think, I guess what you're alluding to there is that it's almost cool to suffer and be a bit of a victim?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. There's like a trend. Like if you go to the gym, you have to be like depressed and all.
Fight your demons.
Yeah, literally.
It's like,
Bro is
ain't
fighting
that
his
deep.
demons.
It's not that deep, is it, realistically? Just get out there. Get out there, meet a girl, go gym.
Touch grass.
Yeah, touch some fucking grass, smell some fresh air. You're fine, mate, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Simple as that.
Do you reckon that's going to change? Final question. Do you think that victim culture that we have going on our age is ever going to go away?
I think
it's going to go... Oh my God, I have another ad. What? Okay, I'll watch. I'll skip the ad and then I'll give my opinion. I'm sorry. Yeah, so giving my answer. No, wait. Giving my answer. The victim culture is gonna stop once life hits hard. Like, we're not even close to like hard times. Once it's actually hard, the harder the times are gonna get, the more the victim culture is gonna die. Let's see what this guy has to say.
I think there's no light without dark. You're always going to have some people that are staying within that realm, but I think if you're looking at the right things and with the right people, 100% it will change. You just got to surround yourself with the right group, consume the right content, and it can be the pathway into either a really good life in that sphere or not at all.
Do you agree?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, well, I just think, I don't know, I don't think of it that deeply. I just think, I think we...
What are you asking me? Like, I don't want to be sexist, but like, she has her bags, she's got her fitness, she's got her guy. Why the fuck does she have to care about other problems? Like, genuinely think about it. Like, but again, the more I'm gonna say, the more people are gonna like be heating up in the comments. But on one hand, I want this. On the other hand, we still have 20 minutes of the video, so I'll definitely make another 1 or 2 controversial comments.
We went through like a phase in like the gym community of like, it's cool to be depressed and hardcore. Yeah. I feel like we're coming out of it. Like, it just goes in waves. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. To get a bit too philosophical on Oxford Street, I think it's very much the case that we're too comfortable in the West and in the UK specifically. So we need to find things that suck about our lives, because as soon as you blame it on something other than yourself, it's not your fault. Whereas actually the truth kind of is that everything we do is our responsibility.
Take responsibility. Even if if something bad happens to you, it might not be your fault, but you're responsible for how you react. So
I know we've gone on a lot, but take responsibility. There's a very famous man that says that as well, by the name of Andrew Tate.
I knew he was gonna say this name. I knew. Oh my God, that's it. We're gonna be heated now. Let me just watch. Let's watch it.
He says the same thing. Do you agree with anything else that he says?
I don't really like him. I mean, I understand he may say some nice things for like the younger generation, but like that just doesn't like disinclude all the horrible things he said about women and like how he objectifies women. So yeah.
Do you think he's part of the problem?
Oh, I don't really know. I think he was sort of a phase. He was almost like a meme. Do you know what I mean? Like, he sort of just came, like, did his thing for a year and left.
That's what blew my mind, because I thought some of the shit he was saying, he was just a comedian, and it would have actually been quite funny, because he was this exaggerated caricature of what a man should be.
If you want to be, like, hardcore, like one of those kind of boys, go for someone like David Goggins. Like, he's not being mean to women, do you know what I mean? Like,
who's going to carry the boats?
Well, Goggins or Tate? Goggins versus Tate.
Who wins, Goggins or Tate?
Goggins, 100%.
What are we? Is it a fist fight or what? I think Tate.
The guy is a 4-time kickboxing world champion. Like, I'm not like pro Tate or pro Goggins or anything. I'm pro Zeno. Like, this is why this channel is called in my name. But it really depends on the question. Like, let's be rational.
But like, just in general, like, Tate could not do the physical, like, endurance or, like, the mental toughness that Goggins has.
Goggins have hands. Goggins ain't got hands, mate. I don't think.
He was a Navy SEAL, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, true. Give him a, yeah, that's a good point actually. But I don't think he'd scrap. Put Goggins and a Tate in a cage. I don't think Goggins will come out.
This is how we solve it, right? We get
like, here's the difference. Like, screw it. My channel, my rules. He hit he hit a very controversial question, Andrew Tate question, right? It's a very anywhere, no matter what you think about the guy, no matter what you listen to him, the beliefs and all of that, she got emotionally triggered. Like, no matter what he said, she was like, yeah, he may be right on this one, but overall it's not nice what he says and all. And 100% he's losing on anything that against even Goggins, like anything is like not correct. The guy who, I don't know his position on Tate, and I don't know if he supports him or not, but he played it smart. He decided, okay, let's just be rational. Let's forget what we think about both Tate or Goggins or whoever you support, whatever guru, and let's actually think about it. Like, be rational. Okay, if we put them in a cage fight, definitely Tate, or at least Tate has a bigger chance because he was training for this for 10 years or something. Plus, he's younger, I think, than Goggins. Goggins is in his late 40s. Tate is only 39 or something. I don't remember exactly. So, emotional versus rational. People may call me sexist, but this is just a very good example of it. I wasn't the one to say it. They were the ones saying it. It's uncut. If you don't believe me, you can go watch the full version. I attached the link in the description. But this is a lot of the times the difference that you can see in so many questions that are targeted towards women and men.
Andrew Tate and Goggins to go to a run club and find some lovely people.
Find some love.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what we need.
Tate would walk out with 8 women. Goggins would just walk out with a log in his hand, wouldn't he?
All right, we're leaving it there. So we're here with
Andres.
And I wanted to ask you, Andres, what do you think of modern dating? Do you feel like men and women are getting on better than ever and people are getting into relationships, or do you feel like we're more divided?
I think it's more difficult to be in a relationship because today we have Tinder and things like that, so I think it's more difficult to find love.
Do you feel like the standards are too high set by women? They should maybe be brought down a little bit, and their expectations are too high because they see all these influencers on social media who look perfect, so they expect everyone to be like that.
Yeah, no, I think they have high standards because for them you have to be high and maybe perfect. I'm 1.75 and not 180, so it's difficult. You're tall, so you're okay. But for me it's difficult because I'm not tall.
Okay, yeah, he's taller.
They have more expectation, physique.
Do you think that men are being told that it's okay to be less of a gentleman nowadays?
No, I will not say that they have to be less gentlemen. Because even if the society tells us that we don't have to be that gentleman, I think we have to.
So we're here today with Ben.
Before he goes, finding love didn't get neither harder or easier. But what social media and what a lot of the things on internet have convinced us is that they try to convince us that it got easier. All you need to do is just go on Tinder. You don't need to care if you curse in front of a girl or not. You don't really need to care how you look like. You don't even need to care about your masculinity, right? The internet influences these thoughts. They put these thoughts into our heads, and that makes us think that, well, now it's easier because I can allow myself more things and still get the same amount of women. So technically it's supposed to be easier. But the truth is that it stayed the same. And if in the past we had morals, we had standards that once we obeyed, we got into a certain route to find our true love. Now we struggle with that because, well, we're taking the downfall. We stop caring. And in order to find that route to our true love, we need to first climb back. So you get it in terms of finding love. It didn't get easy. It didn't get easier or harder, but it got harder to escape influence. I'm gonna leave us on that.
I wanted to ask you, Ben, about gay culture and where it's at in 2024. How old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay, you don't look a day over 26.
Thank you very much.
What's the state of gay culture at the moment? Do you feel like it's getting more toxic because of social media and dating apps? Or do you state of gay culture at the moment? Do you feel like it's getting more toxic because of social media and dating apps, or do you feel like it's in a good place?
Yeah, so I think it certainly has similarities to how straight people have it. Like there's a lot of hypergamous relationships going on. It's very difficult to find people. Fortunately, I'm not in that position where I'm looking, but yeah, it's very difficult these days. It's been made harder by all of the dating apps. They've actually made apps harder to use. It used to be that they were much easier to use, like OkCupid. It used to be you can match with people from the other side of the country, and you could do it for free, and you can message back and forth. And now it's very, very difficult to do that.
Why have they made it more difficult?
They made it more difficult because once people have a successful match and they stop using the service, well, then they can no longer extract money from you or advertise to you.
Right.
So
they've got the incentive to fund their staff, their office space, their other costs.
Exactly, and profit.
Of course, that's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love capitalism. Profit is great. Profit is important. But unfortunately, it does cause negative consequences to society overall.
Do you see a way around that? Can you imagine an app that's sort of like a charity and it gives really good prompts, lets you work out what people are actually like?
I don't think there is a way around it. I think the way we have it now is it's just a natural consequence of incentives due to profit. And so, yeah, I don't think it's likely going to change until there's a cultural shift around it, which I think there's starting to be that. There's starting to be people who are like, they're not using smartphones as much. They're trying to get off of dating apps and start meeting people in person again. So I think that's a positive cultural change.
Yeah. Charlie Munger, show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome.
Absolutely, 100%.
So what would you say is the biggest difference between straight culture and gay culture at the moment?
Oh, good question. Well, so for gay men, there is it's much more overt. There is like a hookup culture. It's not really frowned upon. No one really has to like pretend they're not into it. Whereas with I think more so with women, there's like they have to kind of pretend to not really be into it type of thing. Although unfortunately, promiscuity is through the roof and actual relationships are on the decline. And
this is something we already talked about, because while it not only comes from guys, but it also comes from girls, and we both have to climb up to find our route to true love.
Yeah, so not good. But I think that's one of the key differences, just the acceptedness of being extra promiscuous and sexual.
If you're a trader trying to...
Oh my god, another ad. Okay, I'm kind of starting to get a little bit sleepy, so... But it's usually... What time is it, actually? It's 1 p.m., yes, so... This is usually the time when I start feeling sleepy, so if I start yawning in the next hour, it's all good. I'll pass it out because I still have some stuff to do after the stream, so I can't just fall asleep during it.
Why is it accepted to be extra promiscuous as a gay man but not as a straight man or a straight woman?
Well, just men are different than women. I mean, men in general, they pursue sex more, so women have to be more selective evolutionarily, because they have to carry a baby for 9 months and then also provide for the child afterwards, whereas men don't really have to do that. A man can reproduce as much as he wants, and if he supports the kids, great, but I mean that's not strictly necessary from an evolutionary biology standpoint. And so when you get two men, neither of which gets pregnant, they just do that. Whereas with women, they still have, even though there's like a cultural shift towards promiscuity, there's still this biological evolutionary consequence that women have around needing to have some semblance of staying faithful. And so there's a bit more shame for women than there is for men.
Yeah. And something I'll be so interested to ask you would be about toxic masculinity, because it's thrown about a lot by straight women towards men. Is there toxic masculinity rife, or at least accusations of toxic masculinity in the gay community?
I've not heard a good definition of what toxic masculinity even is. What is it? I would like to know. And so to me, it sounds like it's just a nonsense word. What is it? I would like to know. And so
this guy who was like, oh, sorry, I'm interrupting.
To me, it sounds like it's just a nonsense word that is intended to...
Like, sorry for spotting this, but look on the guy's reaction.
to know.
Oh,
And
sorry.
so to me, it
Look
sounds
at
like
the
it's just a
woman.
nonsense
Oh, fuck
word
you.
that is intended to shame
There was
men
a guy
for
also
having traditionally masculine views and desires. I think it's perfectly acceptable and perfectly normal for a man to want to be strong, successful, being able to provide and protect for women, and wanting a woman who is submissive. Women, even the boss bitches, and even these more, I would say, masculine women who want to be in charge of everything, they still want a traditional man. They want a man to take care of them, provide for them, pay for everything. They still want that. And so they want a traditional man, but the man wants a traditional woman, and the woman traditionally would be submissive, follow his lead, not in a domineering, controlling way, but in a protecting and providing type of way. And so, so I don't even think toxic masculinity is a thing. It sounds like a garbage term made up by Marxists. Now, as for toxic masculinity in gay culture, there's not really very many accusations of that. There's a lot of sort of a wide range of acceptance for various forms of, or various degrees of masculinity. Very effeminate men are largely accepted. Very masculine men are actually quite celebrated among gay people. There's not that much, oh, you're too masculine, or oh, why are you like that? It's very rare, actually.
Yeah. And I guess the danger of
this gay guy makes you judge LGBTQ just slightly less. Just a bit slightly. That would be a good question to ask this guy, what he thinks of the pride and all of that stuff, because that's a whole other topic, guys. A whole other topic.
throwing around a phrase like toxic masculinity too much is that people get scared and they go the other way, and people actually try and hide their emotions or whatever else. But then that's not masculinity either. Masculinity is about integrating your emotions, not showing them too much or too little.
Yeah, I think masculinity is perfectly healthy, just like femininity is also perfectly healthy. They're the consequence of evolutionary biology, and our evolutionary biology serves us as how we got here.
And I guess the fact that we are here today and we've evolved to this point shows that real masculinity and femininity are here today, and we've evolved to this point shows that real masculinity and femininity are healthy, because otherwise we wouldn't have survived as a species, right?
Exactly. So for men to be traditionally masculine, it means you take care of and protect and provide for the people that you care about. You take care of your children, you take care of your community, and you take care of your family, you take care of your wife or your woman. For a woman to be traditionally feminine, in my view, is to be a caring, nurturing mother who does a good job rearing children, and also is a good supportive partner to the husband. The husband is the one who has to go out hunting, go to war, go earn money, and provide for the rest of the family. And the woman's job is to bring him peace and to be a sense of calm in his life when he's otherwise dealing with war out in the real world, just to provide.
It seems very polarized, and 54% of men.
W gay man. And people are gonna call him toxic because of his words, but I'm gonna give you a W.
And that a Gen Z report that they didn't have any.
Another dude apologized. Yeah, he meant, but he apologized. I was about to judge him.
Relationships as a teenager, which is pretty shocking. If you go to the pub with a group of lads and you ask them about their experience in relationships as a teenager, only half of them could tell you an experience at all. How do you think we get out of this situation?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question.
And we need to get out of this situation. I don't know.
Unfortunately, there's an increase in overall loneliness, the loneliness epidemic, and also people tend to not have as many close friends anymore. For people in my generation, as we've gotten older, people they move in with a spouse, they have kids, and so friendships just kind of fray as a result of family pressures. But also, my brother, my youngest brother, he's still in his teens, and they don't really go out and do stuff. Like they're just on their phone rather than going out to do something at the mall. They'll watch a video of a TikTok of someone doing something stupid at the mall, but they're just on their phone, in the living room type of thing. So it's unfortunate. We
just remember how I went out with my boys in my teens. We would still go out, but we'd still go out. We actually still go out, but just in different circumstances.
We've life has become so, I think it's largely a consequence of phones in general. People are just constantly glued to their phones. It's constant dopamine seeking, and we get the dopamine hits instantly without trying. And so we don't really have the incentive, or not the direct incentive, to go out and do stuff for fun with people. because now you can get the dopamine hits. Also, it's more fun in some senses to see the people that you actually want to see on social media versus going out to a bar or a club or whatever and interacting with people who maybe they're kind of awkward, maybe you want to go home, so that the imperfection of the in-person socialization actually provides as a counter incentive to actually going and participating in all.
Of course, it's risk aversion.
I like the words that he's picking: counter incentive, all of those words that I wouldn't use in regular English. Yeah, this guy deserves a double.
If you're at home on your phone and you haven't really had a chance to see the beauties of the world because you're young and you haven't traveled, especially because of COVID lockdowns or whatever else, why would you go outside and risk being Me Too'd or rejected by a girl in a club when you can just buy a sex doll and go at it, or have an AI girlfriend online that nurtures you?
Right, exactly.
We're going to talk about AI girlfriends as a whole other subject. I will dedicate one stream to AI girlfriends because I have what to say. I have something to say about it.
The AI girlfriends, the robots, those are coming soon. And yeah.
They're coming. They're going to be coming soon, and in more ways than one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very sad because interacting with people it's a wonderful thing. We're a social species. Even people who are rather introverted like myself, it's still important to get some socialization. That's how you are able to function in the world. And by having social skills, that allows you to find a mate. It allows you to be a better parent. It allows you to do better in your career. It just gives you an overall more fulfilling life. And so if we don't get that socialization earlier in life, then that hampers the ability to get relationships and maintain and deepen relationships later on. So it's actually quite sad, unfortunately. As for reversing it, I don't know. I think it really just is a cultural change that needs to happen, which is easier said than done, because we still have all of these incentives of easy dopamine hit play on your phone, and it's getting worse with the whole Apple Vision thing. And we're soon gonna be like that movie WALL-E, where everyone just has a screen in front of them constantly, or the Matrix type of thing, where you're just glued in, and there's destitution and
who also talked about the Matrix? I'm just gonna leave it like this.
Destruction and poverty all around. But as long as you have your headset on, you can do whatever you want. You can be on the moon. You can dance with the stars yourself virtually. So I don't really know what the solution is. I'm not personally, I'm not very optimistic about the future. But all we can do is be aware of these things and do our best for ourselves and for the people that we care about, inform them, and try to encourage people to move in a better direction.
What do you think to the state of modern dating culture?
I don't know.
So I'm here with
Rajna.
Catherine.
You wanted to be on camera. Why did you want to come on camera?
I want to know what you want to ask me.
You might see.
Good call. Wait, give me a sec. I'll turn this thing off. Sony Premium. Give me a sec. I'm not even gonna really redo the last 5 seconds. We got like 7 minutes to go, and then I think I'm good for the day.
I was very intrigued why you've gone up to the Take a Free Quran stand in the middle of Leicester Square.
I've always wanted one, and it's free as well. I'm on my own journey with God right now, so...
Tell me more.
Well, I was brought up Muslim, but I had trouble with Islam because of people. And the Islam community and Bengali community is quite tough. People are very judgmental. Like, the way I dress is very not modest. But it's my own journey. Sure. And I've got nice tits, so.
Are you religious at all?
No.
How come?
I love the idea of religion and having that belief that there's something there, but I just was never raised like that, so it's just not really my thing.
Okay. Do you think that there's a possibility that God might exist?
No.
Interesting.
So you like the idea, but you're not like, but God does not exist. Like, I'm not trying to force anything. It's like just like, hey, good luck. We'll see each other in 10 years, and we'll see how your life goes. I wish you everything the best. Like, not everything. I don't know you really. I don't know what to wish you, but like, take care.
Why not?
I just don't think if there was someone there, they'd let everything be so shit. Do you know what I mean?
It's like the answer I hear every single time from people who don't believe God. Like, yeah, if God exists, he wouldn't let things be so shit. Like, come on. But that's a whole other video. We're talking about dating today.
Like, everyone has this belief that someone's there for you, but then there's so many innocent people that are just having really shit times. So how can there be this greater purpose when it doesn't really seem like there is?
Someone religious would argue that God is all-seeing and all-knowing and created the universe, and they created, do you know what free will is? People have free will, which means that they can make mistakes, do bad things, and therefore suffering does exist in the world. Otherwise, if God stepped in, you would sort of lose free will. What do you think to that?
I just don't think like I've never been raised in this environment. I really just don't believe it. Like not to make it political, but look at Palestine. Like you can't say that people like innocent kids are just dying. It's like, well, God chose that. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't believe it.
He didn't choose it. He just put it in motion. Like he put people on Earth, and he was just like, create, do what you want, enjoy your life, or don't enjoy it. So everything that's happening is via humanity. It's got nothing to do with God. People are killing each other because they're killing each other.
How do you see the culture clash of
video? I'm gonna have to prepare a whole stream as well on it.
Islamic dating culture versus Western hookup culture, I guess you'd call it, with apps like Hinge and Tinder?
How do I view it?
Yeah.
Not Hinge and Tinder, like it's different things, but I like that he put the atheist person in the hookup culture, because really most of the hookup people don't actually believe in God, so it's like it's just like it is like it is.
Do you think one's maybe more right than the other? Do you think they both have their own good and bad parts?
I think it's completely within everyone's like personal like choice. If someone wants to go hook up someone, like fine, whatever. But also it's difficult in Islam culture. I feel like it can be quite controlling at points. So it's,
Would you agree with that first?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
yeah, it just seems quite like a male-dominated culture. I'm not saying that's all of it, but like there needs to be kind of a balance between everyone having free will, as you said, to like do what they would like. But, yeah.
I was in Saudi Arabia earlier in this year.
Do what they like. Like this is something that I argue with a lot when people say do what they like. Are we really here to do what we like? Because trust me, if I were to start doing things that I like and only, or even so to say, picking or prioritizing things that I like, my life, I wouldn't be sitting here, first of all. My life would be completely different. But again, these questions, other stream. Not today. I'm already fed up a bit.
3 times, actually. A lot of men said there to me, because I asked them about it respectfully, and they said that, you know, the sort of submissive women at home stereotype comes from a place of love and looking after women as their precious gifts. Do you agree with that analysis, or do you think they're lying?
I think it depends on the person. Like each woman has their own views on it. Some people enjoy that and they want to be there to cook and clean. I personally
before I move on, it says 7 months, right? This is like okay, October, so it might be hot in October. I was like, what? Why is it so hot in October? In like November or December, but okay, October it may be that hot.
It makes me feel quite controlled, because my dad was very controlling with my mum and she had to do it. So because she was forced to, it made me rebel and want to do the complete opposite. So I don't want to be staying at home cooking and cleaning.
I don't want to joke about it, but I'll just make the comment. Daddy issues.
But that's my personal choice. So everyone's got their own choice, you know?
How do you see modern dating culture in terms of dating apps and social media at play? Do you feel like that's had a good effect on hookups and whatever else, or do you think it's had a bad effect on the relationship between men and women?
It's fucking horrific. It's awful.
Why?
Dating apps are terrible. Hinge is terrible. Tinder is terrible. Get yourself off there.
Do you think?
Why? I know very close people who met each other online. Why? And they love each other and they care. They build families together. Why is it bad?
Hookup culture is terrible as well?
I think it's terrible, but that's my opinion.
Don't attach hookup culture to Tinder and Hinge. Don't attach dating apps and hookup culture. Yes, they come hand in hand, but they don't go all the way.
Yeah, like people are, you know.
Why do you think it's terrible?
Because you don't benefit anything from that. It's a spiritual connection. It is. Someone is with you, you're together, you're having sex. It's not just like bash, 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 and you're done.
Yeah, but she's talking about hookup culture, not about he asked about why you said it's bad, the dating apps, not the hookup culture. That we know, that we get.
It's deeper than that. It's more important.
Does hookup culture not make you happier?
Happier? Not really. It benefits men more than women, I would say.
Why?
Because sex for a woman, you need to have more of a connection, generally. Not for everyone, but I'd say most women would say that.
I mean, it's biologically proven that women release a bonding hormone when they have sex more so than men do.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone, but like some people, I like the freedom of hookup culture, people want to, but I don't think it's majorly beneficial.
So to wrap it up, do you look for a masculine man?
I do.
Why?
I want to feel safe and protected and like I can rely on them. And I don't want to use my brain when I'm out with a man.
But I still want to dress like this. Like, I get you, woman. I get you. Like, I wouldn't mind talking to you. And you seem like a very, like, actually rational person. You have given some quite constructive answers. But I feel like you just want more with less responsibility. That's what I'm hearing here. Like, you want more you want to have more of that with less actions from your side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being nice today. It's my first stream back. We're almost done, so I'm not gonna start it. I'm just gonna delightfully let it slide.
I don't want to use my brain.
And can you define masculinity for me if that's what you look for?
Masculinity. Someone that
I switched from due dates to
God, you could have not put these ads in 2 minutes. Come on. Oh my God, I should really buy premium. I'm saying this every stream, but now
I just got like someone big and strong.
Someone who thinks for you.
That's the most masculine trait you can have. Ironically, that's probably more a feminine trait. Men just tend to fucking do whatever without thinking. We're very stupid like that. Anyways, thank you for your time, guys. All right, let's shift round. Shift round. There we go. Just make sure you guys are looking as good as possible.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. So we're here with
Alex.
And
I'm Tom, yeah.
You guys look like very well-groomed individuals. I see your teeth, I see your hair, I see the outfits.
It's a fake, mine aren't. Oh, bro, it's like you do me on here. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you guys, do you feel like women place an increased emphasis on looks rather than personality nowadays?
Completely.
Yeah?
Completely. Oh, yeah. So basically, I think even any dating website is completely looks orientated straight away. 100%. No way. It's only when you find out later on that you actually get to meet you, but it looks all the way. I find that every girl I see is have a look or money orientated. I think that's the main two things these days. No matter how nice you are as a person, I think the more hard work you are, the more bit of a prick you are.
You're also attracted to the Asian community, aren't you, mate? So,
well.
And obviously we're in London and Manchester and England now, aren't we? So.
Anyway about that, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah.
Party. That's party over, baby.
Yeah.
Party over.
Anyway, I think we've gone off that, but yeah.
That was good. That was good.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to help the channel.
Dude, I'll give it to you. Like, listen, I can watch your content, I can react to it, so I'll definitely keep you in mind. But anyways, moral of today's video, it's what I said before. Dating has not become harder. It's the same as it was before, but we just have to keep the standards, if not as before, but at least keep them at a decent level. You know what I'm saying? I hope you do, because with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this reaction. I thank you all for watching live or in replay. If you watched it in replay on YouTube, comment below everything you think, please. Also comment if you didn't like the reaction so that I know why and I can maybe change it in my next streams. But anyway, guys, it was a great feeling to talk with you again, to react to some videos. I missed it. Hope you missed it as well. And now I am back. So anyway, thank you for watching. Like this video if you did enjoy, dislike if you didn't, but you have to 100% comment why you didn't. And comment below even if you liked it. Just share your thoughts. And with that being said, this was Zeno today with you, and I will see you in my other reactions. Woo! Very nice.